Hello, fellow Cravers, and welcome to the CTG Wrestle Podcast. As always, you have me, GD, and I'm joined by my co-host, Hanksy. How are you, mate?
All good, all good.
Yes, we are back.
Excited for this weekend.
Oh, yes, same here.
WrestleMania season.
Oh, it's so close. Well, it's about... It's not even 4 weeks now,
4
is
weeks.
it? Is it 4 weeks?
Yeah, something like that.
4 weeks to WrestleMania.
When is it? Early April, isn't it?
Yeah,
Early
it's. I
April,
think it's
so, yeah, it's about 6 weeks, isn't it?
Yeah. But either way, we're looking forward to it.
Yeah.
We already know a couple of matches that are happening at WrestleMania, which we're going to talk about in a bit.
Yep.
But we're here for our final stop before the grandest stage of them all, and that is Fastlane with SmackDown. And our last single branded pay-per-view as well, until they decide to redo it again, that we know of.
Yeah.
So, we are going to start off, of course, with the six-pack challenge on the screen. And of course, we are going to be talking this month about the Elimination Chamber. We're going to talk about Fastlane, and of course, we're going to talk about a few bits and pieces that has happened in WWE at the moment.
Yeah.
So, mate, I feel like we should start off with Elimination Chamber. A little bit of a recap. So, I found it really enjoyable again.
Yeah, I mean, I always like Elimination Chamber, to be honest. I do, and I thought it was good. I thought the women's match was good.
It was. I'm going to be honest.
The men's match was pretty good.
The women's match was actually more of a surprise than I thought it was. A lot of people were a little bit iffy about the whole idea of it, thinking, right, they're just doing it over and over. Now they're making everything a first, especially coming off the back of the first women's Royal Rumble as well. It felt okay. Just slow down a bit. But it was a really entertaining element. I think it was one of the better Elimination Chamber matches I've seen in a long while as well. Yeah,
I thought it was really good. I think they pushed themselves. I thought there was some shocks in there. You know, Sasha turning on Bayley wasn't a massive shock as such, but it was still, you know, it's slightly unexpected, I think, in the way that she did it. Well, there's a storyline developing there, I think.
I'm finding it funny with that storyline, though. By the looks of things, it's Bayley turning heel, not Sasha. I was thinking, is this actually going to work? Bayley's not a heel.
They're not turning Bayley heel. They won't do that. She's a merchandise machine, she said. But I think, what they're trying to do is set up a rivalry but keep them both face. So there's this build up with Sasha Banks. You know, obviously Corey Graves has massively got it in for Sasha Banks, has done that for a couple of months.
Oh, of course,
which has been part of setting the scene. The fact that every week Corey's talking about her snapping people in the back and she just wants the limelight, and then she's sort of living up to that a little bit now, which is allowing him to push that storyline. So it's a case of, but at the same time, she hasn't. We've been waiting for a Sasha Banks heel turn, haven't we, for about 12 months now?
I think
because we've
the things we saw
because
Sasha
we remember
as
the
a heel,
matches they had in NXT, and it was and we saw the matches at NXT, the first Iron Woman match, wasn't it? And stuff like that. It was amazing. So we've been waiting for the heel turn, and then they seem reluctant. And I suppose that's possibly because there's a lot of heel women at the moment in WWE.
Well, at the
particularly with
the Raw brand,
particularly with the two, well, when you think about Raw and SmackDown to a point, when you think about the two stables we've got now, so it's the Riot Squad and Absolution. So I think they're trying to set up the rivalry and I'm presuming it's going to be at WrestleMania. But they seem to be trying to do it while keeping them both relatively face, I think. It's a squabble. It's going to be played as a squabble between friends as opposed to the one turning on the other in the way that we've seen everybody turn on poor old Becky Lynch at one point or another, wasn't it? Exactly like that. Well, so
it's not just that, it's a nice place to actually have that happen as well. Have it happen at WrestleMania. I think a lot of people do want to see these two fight, and I think it's going to be a brilliant match and a good match to actually symbolise the women's division as well. By the sounds of things, if we're going down this route,
yeah.
we're going to end up having at least 3 women's matches at WrestleMania, which I'm looking forward to. By the looks of things, now if people don't know, Alexa Bliss ended up winning the Elimination Chamber match. I loved the end of that.
Yeah, that was a surprise, was it?
It wasn't that much of a surprise. I think I was expecting her. But my favourite bit was at the end of it, where you saw her, she was acting. But we all looked at it and thought she was off character, thinking, okay, this is different. And then she just turns to thinking, there she is. That's...
Yeah.
Well,
part of that was kayfabe, and part of it was actually her being able to say what she actually really felt about stuff. But then, changed very quickly back to character. But yeah, and so it was, but no, it was nice for her because obviously, same as Charlotte, both of them had to sit out the Royal Rumble.
The thing is,
And when you think about both those girls, they've done such amazing stuff over the last 12, 18, 2 years.
Especially Charlotte at the beginning.
You think about the stuff Charlotte's done, Charlotte's done some amazing stuff. And then, I don't think, we've talked about this in previous shows, but nobody expected Alexa Bliss to be as successful as she's been. She's been brilliant. And it was nice that, she's at sit-out Royal Rumble, but this was like her moment to be able to, break the ground and, do something that hadn't been done before, wasn't it?
She's not really had a chance of being in a first situation, has she?
No.
I think even, like I said, the Hell in the Cell, it was Sasha versus Charlotte. Extreme Rules, well, what is it? No, it wasn't Extreme Rules. Yeah, Extreme Rules match. A lot of them was Sasha and Charlotte. And then when it went into...
Extreme Rules was Raw, so they've all fell on Raw.
Yeah.
The one that didn't fall on Raw was Money in the Bank, but obviously she had to sit that one out because she was the champion.
She was the champion, yeah.
So,
and it's same like with the Royal Rumble. So this was actually Alexa Bliss's first time being in a first, if anything. And the thing is, by the sounds of things as well, if Paige wasn't injured... then she would have also been in that match instead of Mickie James, by the sounds of things. But either way, it was an entertaining match. The thing is, I would love to see it again. I think they should make it as a staple point, like they do with the Elimination Chamber match, down the line as well. Talking about the staple point, the men's Elimination Chamber match. It was the first time they had 7 men in it.
Yeah, well, that was sort of... I mean, it wasn't planned, was it? That was forced because of the Jason Jordan injury.
Yeah.
Just basically trying to find something to do with Seth Rollins.
Let's give him something to do. Well, they've now found him something to do at WrestleMania. He's going to be fighting for the Intercontinental Championship. Which, you know what?
Well, obviously unplanned.
It's unplanned, but I'm happy that The Miz and Finn Balor also have a match now at WrestleMania. Yeah, and it's going to be a fun match.
All 3 deserve it. All 3 deserve that. Deserve to have a match at WrestleMania. As I said, I think it'll be a good match. You've got 3 of the best and most consistent performers that WWE's had over the last 12 months in that match. So I think it'll be good. Again, as I say, it wasn't planned. The plan was that there was going to be Jason Jordan versus Seth, wasn't it, and stuff.
Yeah, but
so we presume.
Right.
So
apart from what's happened, we all know Roman Reigns ended up winning it. Now, what do you think of Roman Reigns getting another main event at WrestleMania again?
You know what? I don't mind. Okay? We've been expecting this for the last 12 months since WrestleMania. Everyone's pretty much known this was nailed on. This was Vince's plan.
I'm gonna say I'm warming up to the idea now myself, which is weird.
You know what? It depends. It's either him or Brock Lesnar, and I'd rather he won it. I think we'd all agree Braun Strowman deserves to have had a crack, possibly.
Well, that's the thing. At the moment, we're not 100% sure if it is going to be him versus Brock Lesnar. Because at the moment, people are at least getting a little bit iffy. Is Brock Lesnar going to show up now?
Yeah, he'll be there.
He should be there,
He'll
but
be there.
technically he's not on contract. He doesn't have...
He's contracted. He is.
He's still
He is in
contracted.
contract. This bollocks. Yeah, of course he is. This bollocks people are saying about him not being in contract. I'm not being funny. Vince McMahon, right, is one of the shrewdest operators I think you're going to find in business.
He's
right?
a clever guy.
This match is a clever guy, right? This match after WrestleMania, the day after WrestleMania last year, wrestling rumours and Dave, what's his name, Meltzer, were both saying next year main event Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar.
No, again, we're already having it this year.
For 12 months. Yeah, well, this is the day after, right?
Yeah.
The day after this is what we were going to get. They were saying this the day after WrestleMania last year. Okay.
Yeah.
This was nailed on. They weren't saying that because they were having a guest. They were saying that because they knew people who were in the know. This was nailed on. That Brock Lesnar was going to carry the title for the full 12 months. You can't tell me, and nor can anybody else, that Vince McMahon would have had, at no point would have had Brock Lesnar under contract. Of course he's under contract.
Especially up to WrestleMania.
He's under contract to WrestleMania.
So
now, what happens after WrestleMania, we don't know, do we?
So
that's the interesting bit.
So do you think he was actually supposed to show up, not this last week? Do you think he was actually supposed to show up on Raw? Or do you think that...
He was advertised.
He was advertised. He to a point that Paul Heyman even said during the pre-show of the Elimination Chamber that Brock Lesnar is going to show up. But I've got a feeling that him not actually showing up that week has made me look at Roman Reigns and think, actually, he's actually starting to get better with this.
My understanding was that Brock Lesnar was in the area, if not in the arena that night.
He was in Vegas.
And Vince chose not to use him.
Oh, okay.
He'd been in Vegas at the Elimination Chamber, and he was in the area, if not in the I'm trying to think where it was. Raw was for Monday. He was there. Vince chose not to use him. Okay. And what is done quite cleverly is that even the likes of yourself, who've never been the biggest fans of
I'm
Roman
actually
Reigns,
starting to warm up to Roman Reigns.
I'm warming to Roman. He said some really good things, and he said what we were thinking. All right, it's quite clever.
He is quite clever.
Because he did.
Well,
he did. He said that night exactly what everybody was thinking in terms of Brock Lesnar. Vince knows that. Yeah. And what it's done is it's taken some heat off Roman. Now the heat, if he wins it, the heat will come straight back.
Oh God, yeah. Or until Braun Strowman gets the title off.
And it will until Braun Strowman takes it off.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll be very quick.
That's where, yeah. But I think it's been quite clever.
Well, I think it's also helped. Like you said, a lot of the heat at the moment is on Brock Lesnar. But with me as well, there's someone else who is starting to get on my nerves as well. And that is someone who's going to be on Sunday's six-pack challenge. And that is Mr. John Cena himself. I'm going to say this now. I understand he's a free agent. I understand he can go on Raw and fight in the Elimination Chamber match. I understand that he can go onto SmackDown, and I don't even know. He basically just beat AJ Styles, didn't he, to get into this match? That's how it happened. Get lost, John Cena. I don't want you in this match. I understand you're not good. I love it more where he went on to... Hi, Zoof. I loved it more where he went on to the Raw afterwards when he got put into the six-man. He said, oh, don't worry, AJ Styles. When I win the championship, you can join in and then make it a triple threat. Fuck you.
Do you know what?
I know he's not going to win.
What a match that would be.
I know.
That would be an awesome match.
So would you?
That'd be.
Would you prefer the triple threat match?
That would be a WrestleMania.
Would you prefer the triple threat match with John Cena, AJ Styles, and Shinsegae, or would you prefer John Cena versus The Undertaker, which, by the sounds of things, is going to happen?
Oof. I mean, that's the match we want, isn't it? But you know what? No, I don't.
No, I don't, because I don't want Undertaker to wrestle again. I'm happy. Yeah.
No, exactly. I don't want WrestleMania. I don't want it. It's a match that we can all, in all generations, there's been matches that haven't happened, and that for this generation, That is the match that's never happened. Is John Cena versus The Undertaker.
It's not.
Had that match happened even 5 years ago, then that would have been a spectacle.
If they want to make me want that match, then make sure I don't want John Cena to win that match, because I'm going to be honest, it will hurt me even more that you have made the 3 people that I hate the most in WWE at the moment, all beaten. One a living legend in WWE, who is guaranteed to be in the Hall of Fame, who is probably going to be the centerpiece in the Hall of Fame for you guys. And you got them beaten by a part-timer, someone who just learned how to use a mic, and John Cena.
I'd rather have the triple threat. The triple. I think that'd be because you know what, it would be a better match. It'd be a brilliant match. John Cena at the start. Whatever you think of John Cena, right? He is, he has been a fantastic performer for 16 years. The same as AJ Styles. It's just they took different tracks to get where they've got to. And then you've got the the younger guy in Shinsegae. Not that much younger, but he, again, has fought his way through. It'd be, I think that, to me, that's a dream match. And it would be far more entertaining than John Cena versus The Undertaker. The Undertaker retired last year. That's where it should be left.
Yes.
He went out, It went out, to the thank you taker chants. The leaving the hat and the gloves and whatnot in the ring, and it was a big deal. And leave it there.
But then I got a feeling that we kind of figured out there was going to be another Undertaker match for the fact that he hasn't been put in the Hall of Fame this year. I think if he was put in the Hall of Fame, then we would have thought, definitely. Instead, I think, it's Goldberg who's the centre part this time, isn't it?
Yeah, Goldberg was always going to be the centre.
It's a very WCW focused.
It is very much this year. But as I say, Goldberg was always going to be the main guy this year in the Hall of Fame in the class.
Yeah.
And I think if they'd have put the Undertaker in there, then Goldberg would have been second fiddle. And one, I don't think Goldberg would have liked that. And two, to be fair, I don't think he should have had to. The run last year wasn't particularly good.
It wasn't good.
I don't think anybody particularly enjoyed it. It wasn't as good as the Sting run even, and that ran out.
That had to be stopped, unfortunately, because of injury.
And it was like,
it would have been nice to see where that was going. I wouldn't have been surprised if we were going to see Sting versus Undertaker at WrestleMania. That would have been a match I would have enjoyed myself.
I think so. But the thing is, we had the run with Goldberg, and I think, he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. He had an amazing run in WCW, and then into WWE. But come on.
Yes. So anyway, the six-pack challenge, mate. Who do you think is going to end up winning it yourself?
I would not be against John Cena winning it. I know you don't like that side here, but
I'm going to be honest. It's one of those things where you put me between a rock and a hard place. I don't want to see a triple threat match with the WWE Championship, but at the same time, I definitely don't want to see Undertaker versus John Cena. So, out of the two of them, I'm going to hate it. I'm going to agree with you and say I probably would.
That's who I'd like to win. Who I think will win is I'm pretty sure AJ Styles will take it, isn't he? Yeah. But we'll see. We'll see whether it's clean.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll see. Before we move on to another match anyway, mate, I just want to talk one more thing that's happening in that six-pack challenge.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
Right, so it seems that it's starting to implode a little bit, the Yep movement.
Yeah.
But do you think this is just I've got a feeling it's just a play at the moment. But you've got to love the match on
We've
Tuesday.
Seen this before, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good match. It was a great match.
A great ending to the match as well.
Nice to see Sami Zayn
nowhere,
win. Yeah. I'm sort of thinking the same as you. We've seen this before with Chris Jericho and Owens. Do you know what I mean? Jericho double crossed him supposedly, and then in the big match pulled out. We'll see, yeah, which way it'll go though, I don't know. It could well be we see, as I say, that it could be the other way. It could be that we see Kevin Owens helping out Sami Zayn. We never know. I don't know.
But either way, could we see Zayn versus Kevin Owens at WrestleMania at this rate?
If it does implode, that's where it's going, isn't it?
Yeah.
And again, there's been some. The matches down the years between those two have just been phenomenal. You know, I mean that year that they were both, not last year. Yeah, not last year, year before. Money in the Bank was insane, and then they had the match after Money in the Bank. It was Battlegrounds where they stole the show.
Well, mate, we're going to move on to another match anyway. We're on screen as well. We're moving on to the SmackDown Women's Championship. It is Charlotte versus Ruby Riott. If people don't know, it's obvious, the Riott Squad.
Yeah.
Let's let them have an entrance this time. Make it longer for us. Because I ended up playing the 6-man challenge twice, mate. So, Charlotte Flair, she seems to be going through the Riott Squad at the moment. And of course, the last person left is Ruby Riott, and they've made sure that the Women's Championship is on the line. I don't see Charlotte losing this, first of all.
No, not me.
Just for the fact that, by the sounds of things, is it going to be Asuka versus... Oh, this is a good thing. Do you think it's going to be Asuka versus Charlotte, or do you think Asuka's going to be facing Alexa Bliss? At the moment, we still don't know.
She hasn't officially, although it's sort of unofficially been hinted towards it being Alexa Bliss, isn't it?
Yeah, but like we said, at the moment, nothing's really said from her.
So Alexa, no Alexa's.
Because we mentioned Alexa.
Alexa, stop.
Oh, I love that. If anyone's listening to this, do not listen to this on the speaker, because you've got that. Yeah. Let's call her Miss Bliss from now on, yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
But then again, if Asuka's not going to be facing Charlotte, who do you think will be if Charlotte does win at Fastlane?
I don't know. I've got to admit, I don't know.
Do you know what I'm actually finding weird about this? And I know this might be weird, controversial, but now thinking of it, what if Ruby Riott does win?
Well, she might do.
With the help of the Riott Squad.
Well, that's the point, isn't it? That's the point, but it's numbers. I mean, you presume that Charlotte will have Becky and Naomi in a corner, but I don't know. It's a bit. It's not. They haven't caught my imagination the same way that Absolution have, to be honest.
I think at the same time with the Absolution thing, they had a strong front as well. They had Paige, and they had the opportunity. They had the look that they were the first ones that came out as well with it.
Yeah.
And no offense to Ruby Riott and the other two. that's
Liv.
Liv Morgan and
Liv Morgan and Logan.
Logan?
What's her name? Logan, isn't it?
Oh, something Logan.
Logan.
Yeah. The thing is, I can already tell you
and that's the point, isn't it?
Yeah. Absolutions is Sonya Deville, Paige, and the blonde one.
Yeah.
Who got eliminated first out of the Elimination Chamber match.
Yeah. I mean, it's I don't know. It just hasn't grabbed the attention for me the same way. I know they've been building it up and that, and having matches, but it's just I don't know. I'm not really that interested in it. Yeah, I just haven't been that interested in it. That's my problem, I think. I don't really care that much.
I want to be honest now. Looking at this, compared to the Raw women, SmackDown women's side is actually quite weak. No offense to them.
It does feel weak at the minute.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, we'll look at it. You've got Tamina, who I don't know where she's gone at the moment.
Tamina's gone.
She's Natalia's vanished as well.
As is Lana. Natalia's still around.
But she's not in the main.
And she's been doing, and then obviously, the other thing we're forgetting is Carmella's still got that briefcase.
Oh, for God's sake! What if she cashes it in at Fastlane?
So she could cash that in at Fastlane, and then she's gonna be at WrestleMania.
Well, she nearly cashed it in at during just after Royal Rumble, didn't she?
Well, they sort of teased it a bit, but there hasn't been enough of that, has there? No. I felt we've been cheated this year a little bit because.
Talking about cheated, that match is already over.
So, with Baron Corbin losing it so quick, and then she sort of hung on to it, but they haven't been doing the whole coming out and threatening and stuff like that. I just feel like
she's just got
been
it
a little bit, missed opportunity this year.
So, according to the game, Charlotte's going to walk away with the championship. You think Charlotte's going to walk away?
I think Charlotte will probably.
Do you think Charlotte's going to win the match?
See Carmella.
Do you think Carmella's going to probably walk away with the championship?
Cashes in. If he cashes in and wins, and then we got
some
Charlotte
WrestleMania
cashing in.
And,
Charlotte doing she's got a rematch clause.
Yeah.
Triggers it for WrestleMania, maybe.
It kind of builds it up in the end, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I sort of would like to see Ruby Riott win it. It'll be interesting if that does happen. But at the same time, you got the factor, like you said, of the missed Money in the Bank as well, and just for the fact that Charlotte seems to be the centre of attention at the moment at least on SmackDown's side of things. So it's kind of awkward situation with that one. We'll see how that goes. We're moving on to another match on here. We have got the Tag Team Championship. We have the repeat of the Usos versus the New Day again. They've given up on the rest of the division and gone back to what works. Yeah,
basically. Yeah, come back to what they know best. And
what can we say about this? I would say I'm looking forward to this match. Are you looking forward to it?
I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, there were some great matches last year.
Yeah.
Hell in the Cell match was
awesome.
An absolute highlight, wasn't it?
Yeah. I never thought of anyone using the kendo sticks like that in the match. Trapping them in the corner.
Yeah. I expect it'll be. So I do expect it'll be a good match. I do expect,
Well, this makes a question about the SmackDown's tag division. Well, which it does put a question to SmackDown full stop, I would say. It is struggling a little bit compared to Raw. Raw seems to be
SmackDown's weak at the minute.
We're not 100% sure why it's weak. They've got some great superstars on the show. Look at what's happening in the six-pack challenge, crying out loud.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying it's.
Otherwise, I mean, there's some ways, and then there's other people who we'd all love to see Rusev getting a push.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Do you know what I mean?
Who does not want Rusev
Day
to
see
be champs?
Rusev Day getting a push.
But at the moment, they still it's the WWE version of. We understand what the fans want, but we don't understand what the fans want. They're still treating Rusev Day as a heel tag team. And there's a lot of no, we love them. Rusev Day. It's Rusev Day every day. We know it is. We've got calendars that say it now. You know what's on Sunday? It's Rusev Day. Why? Because it is.
Yeah.
But they're not a heel. People love them, and it's worked.
So I do feel like they're missing a trick on a number of different, in the moment. I don't know. We'll see.
I think the other ones they've got
in terms of the tag teams, we've seen it before. It's going to be a good match.
It's not just that. We've got, looking at the tag teams there, the Bludgeon Brothers as well. They're SmackDown tag team, aren't they?
They are, yeah.
I've got a feeling
And
whoever...
they're obviously going to get the next push.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think whoever wins this match will end up facing them. So,
yeah.
good luck with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So, I know we're going by this very quick, but who do you think's going to win? The Usos or the New Day?
Possibly. I don't know. I don't know. What I hope is, whatever happens, that the Usos get WrestleMania this year, because they've never had a WrestleMania match, which in itself is amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
The thing is, they're a great tag team.
So I'd like to
especially
see,
with this new look to it.
Yeah. So I'm hoping the Usos win, actually, because I want them to have that WrestleMania moment.
I'm going to say it's going to be a no contest.
I really do. Yeah.
I think the Bludgeon Brothers are going to get themselves involved in this, yeah.
Then maybe we get like a
triple threat tag team match.
WrestleMania, yeah. Sort of, was it Tornado? I don't know. Be good.
All we can do is hope. But looking at some of the other matches that are happening at Fastlane while this match is going on. 1 second.
Yeah.
Getting to the list again. So we have the US Championship, Bobby Roode versus Randy Orton. Wow.
Yeah, that's an
Randy,
interesting one.
mate, you've gone down a little bit from WWE Championship to facing Bobby Roode. I want Bobby Roode to win this, just for the fact I don't want Randy Orton carrying another championship.
No.
The thing is, Randy Orton's bigger than the US Championship. Well, at the moment, the US Championship is bigger than Bobby Roode.
Yeah. I really like Bobby Roode.
Oh yeah, I like him too. I just want to see him at WrestleMania as well. Who does not want to see the glorious entrance at WrestleMania?
Yeah. I think Bobby Roode will win this.
Yeah. I agree.
But I do think, again, obviously, there's the whole what happens in terms of Jinder Mahal as well, whether he gets involved. So again, this could well be a no contest.
Next match, Shinsegae Nakamura versus Rusev. I want Rusev to win because it's Rusev Day.
Yeah,
he needs to win on Rusev Day.
It's Rusev Day.
Yeah, he's got to win. Now everyone knows Shinsuke's going to end up winning that match, though, isn't he? It's going to build him up
because it's the momentum going into WrestleMania.
Yeah,
isn't it?
Yeah. So it's just something that they're giving Shinsuke something to do before the show. He's there. And the other match we've got is Becky Lynch and Naomi versus Natalya and Carmella. Oh, yeah, there's Natalya.
Well, Carmella. I didn't even know about this match was going on. Why is this match even happening? I don't
needed the match.
I think it's just like they needed the match. This to me, this feels like
this
feels like pre-show stuff.
Just looking at this, you got Becky Lynch and Naomi versus Natalya and Carmella. Just saying, why not add the rest of the Riot Squad in there as well? Make it a triple threat tag team match. That would have been good.
Why do it? There's no story behind that.
There is a story. It makes sure that everyone. It's the SmackDown way of things, mate. Make sure all the women are in one segment.
Yeah, I just don't understand. Again, it feels like a pre-show match at best.
But either way, who do you think is going to win? Do you think it's going to be Team Becky or Team Natalya?
You know what? I gotta admit, I couldn't give a shit. I honestly couldn't care. There's because they haven't built it up. There's no reason for it. I suppose we should probably. You know what? Natalya and Carmella. I don't know why. Just because I don't
you wanted to pick
like
them.
Naomi that much. Yeah, there's no reason for it. Not because I've got anything invested in it, but because you know what, I quite like heels, and let the heels.
Fair enough. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's fair enough. Right. So we're going to have a look into all the things that are happening. Like we said, WrestleMania has also been given a couple of matches that we now know of. This may change by the time WrestleMania comes along. So of course we already talked about Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. We have Ronda Rousey and Angle is going to be facing Triple H and Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah, well, I think it's going to be a spectacle, isn't it?
I know. I can't wait to see Ronda Rousey versus Triple H.
You know?
We had a little bit of a teaser of that at Elimination Chamber. That was awesome.
I mean, that's the problem, isn't it? The problem is they won't be, and that's the issue. That's the problem. I mean, I think we know that Kurt and the weak link in it is Steph, isn't it? I like Steph.
Of course, yeah.
But she's going to be the weak link. We're not going to see Ronda Rousey really wrestle.
But that's the thing. We need to see her wrestle.
That's what we want to see.
The thing is, her
so
contract is if people don't know, Ronda Rousey's contract, she has got an official contract with the WWE. It's not just oh, right, let's just have her there for WrestleMania.
Well, no, she's not part-time.
She's an actual part of the WWE roster now.
I mean, she's going to be in every Raw up until WrestleMania now, I believe. So I'm presuming we're going to start seeing her wrestle, we're sure. Because so far we've seen her do put Triple H for a table and do a Samoan drop on Steph, and that's been about it, really.
It's not just
so
that.
We want to see what she's got.
Also, talking about after WrestleMania as well with Ronda Rousey, I'm really hoping that she doesn't do a Lesnar. I don't expect her to. I expect because she hasn't got, like Brock Lesnar. We know he's going back to UFC. It's quite obvious he's going to end up doing that after WrestleMania. But Ronda Rousey,
I'm not sure it is.
I think it's. Do you think he's going back to UFC?
I don't know.
Would you want him to go back to UFC? Because, to be honest, I don't want him around WWE anymore.
I don't really care where Brock Lesnar goes.
Yeah. He's barely there at the moment.
You know what? It depends what he wants. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, he could sign another contract with WWE. Do, a few...
a few more matches that last him a year.
House shows. A few house shows. A few matches, against who knows at different pay-per-views. Get paid a few million quid and not get hit.
Yeah.
Unless he's facing Braun Strowman, obviously. He gets the odd elbow. So it's he could sign up, or he goes back to UFC where he's actually going to get properly hurt. Don't know.
Well, at the moment,
he's not young anymore.
He's not
a young bloke.
No, not one bit. Honestly, I'd be happy just get the title off him at WrestleMania and then just let him wander off in the wilderness. It'll be nice. I think it'd be nice having Brock Lesnar away from WWE for a while, because I think this is one thing that annoyed us. Was it 2015 season?
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar was champion for a year then as well. And he wasn't there.
We've had this before.
We've had this before, and it looked like we've had it again this year. And I think that's what's been bugging us this whole year, is that single thing. But anyway, like I said, we're going with Ronda Rousey with the story. We expect her to be committed with the WWE, which is nice. And I would love to see her be quite active to a point that she's there week in, week out, like a lot of the other WWE superstars that's there at the moment. And
she's going to be, isn't she? That's her plan.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if anybody's going to break the Oscar streak, then you can imagine it being Ronda Rousey.
I want to know what people's reactions to that would be, actually, wouldn't you?
Yeah, they've built Oscar up so much. You sort of think, okay, who is it that could possibly beat Oscar?
Well, that's the danger of streaks,
and you think, well, it is. Yeah, it is. It's always a problem with streaks, isn't it? And you think if anybody can beat her, it's either got to be a freak.
Yeah.
A Paige-style freak that comes up out of the blue, gets lucky and wins. And it's like a massive shock.
Who could we have in NXT? Oh, Nikki Cross!
So, it could be anybody, couldn't it? This is it. Somebody coming up from NXT, and or it's going to have to be somebody, incredibly. It's going to be an awesome match with somebody you truly believe could win. And if you believe anybody could beat her, then Ronda Rousey is that person.
Or what's her name? Who is one of her four horsewomen? who's in NXT at the moment.
Shayna Baszler.
Yeah.
Shayna Baszler. Yeah.
I wonder how long it's going to take until she gets up to the main roster at the moment.
Shayna Baszler, Shayna Baszler's good, but she's not Oscar. She's no way in. She's not in the same. Yeah, I wouldn't put her in the same sort of bracket as Oscar. But then Nor's Ember Moon, you know.
Yeah.
Ember Moon had some great matches with Oscar, but you never truly believed she could win. You know, not really. So it's got to be So the baddest woman on the planet is probably the one, isn't it?
Another match that we know that's going to be happening at WrestleMania as well, mate. The final of the Cruiserweight Championship tournament as well is going to be happening. Yeah. I've not actually been paying attention to the tournament myself.
I haven't been watching any of it, but my understanding is that Triple H has taken over 205 now.
Right.
And that it has got a hell of a lot better. I've never got into 205. I didn't really like the cruiserweights particularly. I know Vince's idea was he wanted it to be sort of like, you know, ability-led rather than character-led. You know, so not heavily on the storylines. But I think that's because of that, we haven't really... It's never took off for me, you know? So the fact that Triple H is now in charge, we've now got a general manager, and it seems to be getting a lot more scripted and storyline-led. So I think it is apparently getting a little better. So it's probably worth a watch.
Yeah, I might go back and actually watch it, especially on the lead up to WrestleMania, because it'll be interesting.
And we're seeing a number of, you know, basically again, it's and I don't think it's any surprise that Triple H just took over, and all of a sudden there's a number of NXT people who are moving across into.
Well, Roderick Strong's been moved over, hasn't he? And and Buddy Murphy also has been moved over as well.
And wait to see what happens with Johnny Cook. I think again it might fit.
Oh, especially at the moment when he's technically he's not with NXT anymore. So it'd be like either way. I think it's going to be an interesting tournament. I think this is a brilliant way for them to find a new cruiserweight champion as well. Rumors are they are planning to do a second championship for the cruiserweights as well, a tag
team apparently.
Tag team, yeah. Which
cruiserweight
at the moment I don't think it'd be a good idea. I think at the moment give it some time, just for the fact that we'll make it the fourth WWE Tag Team Championship.
I think in a way it might. I mean, where I think it might need it, is at the moment you've got two championships, haven't you? One championship, sorry.
Well, right.
In that division, so having another one might focus it a bit better.
Well, this is a spoiler. Yeah. I'm just saying this now. We're talking about NXT for this bit. Have you heard about... I'm just going to say it, and like I said, this is going to be a spoiler. This has been part of the tape on Wednesday's taped session. It was announced on the WWE channel on YouTube. They have announced that there is going to be another NXT championship coming along as well. Which I think is going to be they're going to be crowning a North American champion at the NXT Takeover New Orleans just before WrestleMania.
I don't think there's a need there. Yeah, for me, there's not a need. I think they've been fine with the free championships. I think that's fine.
I think it's a lot of people wanting a minor championship for NXT, which going to be honest, I think, because I think with NXT, I feel like NXT is now at a level where it is the third brand in the WWE
it is, absolutely. Now. I just don't think they need a fourth championship. I think they've managed the three championships in a 1 hour show.
Yeah.
The three championships is enough for me. And then the rest of it's about building up the feuds in order to build towards new challenges for those championships. I think that sort of works, but oh well.
Well, we'll see how that goes.
And then the other match I think we've got for WWE looks like Matt Hardy versus Bray Wyatt.
Oh God, we've got the is it next week?
The Compound.
At the Compound. They're bringing the Compound into the WWE.
Yeah.
I'm so looking forward to this.
So.
If people don't know what the Compound is, we do recommend go and search for it, it was something that was announced, which was first shown at TNA, wasn't it? And
Yeah.
It's coming back, and a lot of people thinking, oh, it's just going to be a watered down. No, it's the proper thing that they're doing again. I'm looking forward to this match.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
especially
Well,
with...
it needs it, because we didn't talk about it. We didn't talk about it Elimination Chamber, but obviously we had the match, which was Matt versus Ray. And I enjoyed it, but it didn't really capture the crowd in the way that I think we were expecting it to.
Yeah.
They do need to move it on. They need to move the character on, I think, a little bit at the moment. Both characters. And there was bits I really enjoyed about that match, but... And the crowd did get into it by the end, but they were a little bit flat to start with. Yeah.
Well, I think it's also with the actual match itself. That Jeff Hardy is actually, his surgeon has actually cleared him to wrestle again. Well, if people don't know, it's just waiting for WWE to clear him through as well. That's going to be interesting. Do you think Jeff's going to join Matt in his woken universe, or do you think he's going to fight Matt in his?
You know what? I'd like him to join him. But I think we've probably got different ideas. That's what we want, isn't it?
We want Brother Nero.
But I think the plan is to. The plan has always been for Jeff to have a singles run of his own. So we'll wait and see. Anyway, so I think that's all we know, isn't it?
Yes, the ultimate
so we should talk more about WrestleMania in the next show, obviously. But
yes, of course. So so that is our WWE Fastlane CTG Wrestle Podcast. We will be back
WrestleMania.
For WrestleMania. Like I said, please go and enjoy this. It is available on the WWE Network on Sunday. What is your favourite? What is your most look forward to match at Fastlane, mate? For you?
I think it's got to be a 6-pack, isn't it? I think it's
I'm gonna say
because the 5-way was so good this week, and you think to add John Cena in as well, it can only make it better. I mean, I think it could be a really good match.
I'm going to say, for me, it is going to be the New Day versus the Usos. The thing is, we've had so many great matches between the two of them. I am looking forward to seeing them again. Now we've had a little bit of a break from them fighting each other. I feel like it's going to be really enjoyable. So I would definitely say that. And like I said, this is the last single-branded WWE pay-per-view for the foreseeable future as well. Which we're so happy about. It will make us it so much easier for us. So like I said, WrestleMania, our next stop after this. Will we see Braun Strowman make some more beautiful music on Elias? Who will be fighting who for the women's championships? And who will be the WWE champion when it goes to WrestleMania? Who knows? But until then, thank you everyone for joining us, and goodbye. I can't think how to end this.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.